If you're just coming in, I want you to hit the like button. We finna get into some serious business here. All right. So hit that like button and get in the comments. Get in the comments. Let's talk about this. I love talking about stuff like this. I love talking about how, how young men need to be stronger in today's world. So I'm going to provide solutions on helping you rebuild masculinity. But first, we got to start from the root. We got to start, where are some of the issues that we are having that's making men more weak and more soft. I'm going to provide a lot of information in this video. So let's get into it. Stay all the way to the end so you can get all of it. Now, let me ask you something. Because I want to know. When did we start praising weakness? When did grown men start crying on social media about getting dumped by a broad and then going to broadcast your breakdowns about the broad for likes? Is that what we call strength? Let me know. Is that what we call strength? When did the masculine image go from protector and builder to purse wearing, attention seeking, emotionally unhinged grown ass boys? Why is it that in today's world, a man with emotional control, discipline, and stoic presence is considered toxic? You have individuals that run around talking about, I don't like toxic masculinity. But a man who folds under pressure is labeled in touch with his feelings. As a man, do you think that you should be in touch with your feelings? When did the masculine frame become a memory instead of a model? We finna get into it today. I'm finna write a book, and this YouTube video is a book. You got men wearing women's clothing and claiming they are heterosexuals. You got men walking around with purses, throwing temper tantrums online, crying because they got left by their girlfriend. Seriously, you got grown men on social media talking about offing themselves. And it's all for attention. Because why? Why haven't you done it? It's been a weekend. You still breathing the same good air I'm breathing? A man does what he says he's going to do. So you proved us you are not a man. You're still alive. And you said you was offing yourself on Facebook 2-3 weeks ago. Why are you still here? You have grown ass men getting babied by their mothers, still living off of her survival system while calling themselves men. You got crumb snatchers on the internet faking dominance, but behind closed doors, they are the elite babysitter for a woman who runs the house, the money, probably his whole existence. And you got men proud out here about that. Like, yeah, my girl goes to work. My girl makes money. My girl, she's probably out there with a work husband. See, the ones who think they're alpha are getting beat up by the same women they cheating on. It's embarrassing. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's tragic. But worst of all, it's getting more and more common. And this is why I want to have this conversation, because weakness from men is becoming more and more common. And then we wondering why women are saying the things that they are saying. Huh? Weak men are everywhere, and it's a detriment to society. But I'm not here to just bash on weak and incompetent men, because, well, we need you. We need you to be weak. Yes, we need you to be weak so we can remain strong. I don't have to get stronger as long as you're weak. So let me provide you with some valuable game that will help you win in this video. Yes, Master Quency wants you to win. So class is in session because it's too many of you falling from grace and not many are going to hand you a ladder with good stability. So keep watching and I'm going to give you some valuable tips on how to rebuild masculinity, especially if you fall in some of these categories. Now, let's start by discussing what's making men weak over time and what you can do to rebuild masculinity. So stay tuned, because in order to solve a big problem, we have to zoom in on the root cause of why things are the way that they are in order to provide the corrective measures. So write this down. Number one, overmothered and underfathered. Overmothered and underfathered. Oh, so your mom did everything for you. She packed your lunch. She tied your shoes. She told you you were special every day. This is her thinking she's a good mom, which she probably is if she's giving you that courage and confidence, and the man may not be there. Cool. Now you're 26, emotionally fragile, and think responsibility is someone else's job. This is how you think as a man who grew up overly mothered and underfathered. Let me tell you what that really is. It's psychological sabotage disguised as love. See, when a boy is raised in a mother-dominant household with no masculine balance, it breeds a warped view of reality. That's why most young boys gravitate towards older heads in the streets. It's a natural thing to do because we need masculine energy to emulate. When you are underfathered, you start learning emotional behavior through a woman's lens, high reactivity, verbal processing, indirect communication. I've always heard growing up, and even until this day, I hear, you act like your father, you look like your father, you talk like your father, because his mannerisms was something I was able to emulate over time. And the real kicker, when you are overly mothered, you start thinking this is a normal male behavior, but it's psychological, right? Let me provide you with a fact. A study from the Journal of Family Psychology showed that boys raised without a consistent father figure, they have higher rates of emotional dysregulation, lower self-esteem, and is significantly more likely to struggle with identity formation in adolescence. So that means while you were watching your mom stress, cry, and get stuff done her way, you never saw what strength and silence looks like, what calm leadership feels like, what masculine resolve sounds like. Have you ever seen a dude in an argument with a woman, and instead of asserting himself calmly, he starts yelling louder than her? I get it. If a bitch cutting you off and overly talking, you shouldn't be dealing with her no way. But either way, that's not leadership. That's not strength. Some people will call that mother-son energy in a grown man's body. Yeah, you got that mother-son energy in a grown man's body, right? This is why a lot of women, they will say that they do not like a man who is a mama's boy, because most mama's boys, they fall in this category, right? Number two, I want you to write number two down. I don't want to forget. No rite of passage. No rite, R-I-T-E, of passage. Now, let me guess. You've never been punched in the face. You never bled for a goal. You never trained for something so hard it made you question who you are. So now when life pushes back, you fold. You fold like a lawn chair. You fold like a piece of paper. You fold. Because real men are forged in fire. Every culture used to have a rite of passage, something that breaks you open and builds you back up stronger. Back in the indigenous times, the natives of the American land, they used to send their sons off during their teenage years for a whole season to survive, to secure their manhood. Back then, they was damn near grown by the age of 20 because they was on their own 15, 16, 17 a season per year. And, these are facts. I'm going to provide a video for y'all on that. We're going to get into it, man. Since I the older I get, the more I read, the more I study, the more I learn. And the more I do that, the more money just goes in my pocket. Just money comes from everywhere. Just money here, money here, money there, money. Oh, that's because I have knowledge here, knowledge there, knowledge there. Master multiple skills in different areas. In this day and age, we skip that part. We skip that part of a man becoming a man at a young age, and men it's taking too long to become a man. So we kind of brush past that part. Your trial was what? Not getting enough likes on your birthday post or crying because your DoorDash was late. I don't advocate young folks to have involvement in the streets at all, but you know what the streets gave me? It gave me pain. It gave me hardship. It gave me adversity. It trained toughness. Yeah, but without direction. It nearly took me out mentally. And there are plenty other ways to create that mental toughness that I will later discuss. But let's try to avoid the streets if it's possible. Some ain't got a choice. But if it's possible, let's avoid that. That's why I tell young men, if you've never suffered for something bigger than yourself, you're not ready to lead anything at all. You crumble in conflict because you've never conquered conflict. And if you ain't actively working towards something right now, what the hell are you doing? A man without a mission is a bomb waiting to blow or a ghost just floating through life. Number 3, I want you to write this down. Every time I tell you to write, raised by women, led by none. That's number 3. Raised by women, led by none. Let me make this crystal clear. A woman can raise a boy, but she can't teach him how to be a man. So many of y'all were led by feminine emotions, and now you think it's masculine to talk more than you act, be passive aggressive, demand respect instead of earning it, chase peace when you're supposed to bring order. You ever wonder why you can't hold a boundary? Why you can't lead a conversation? Why you feel awkward when it's time to be firm? Because your idea of leadership was a stressed single mom doing her best, but not showing what a man's presence looks like, which is not her fault. And here's the cold truth about that. A father doesn't have to say much. When he walks in the room, everything changes. Now that's masculine energy. And too many of y'all never felt that growing up. I remember when growing up, my mom, for her to put some sort of fear in me, she had to put the belt on me. She had to cuss me out. She had to talk all kinds of shit. But my father, when he approached me, and I could tell he was angry, he used to bite the shit out of his tongue. He still do it to this day. And he bite that damn tongue. Oh, I already knew what time it was. I better have a place to run. No, I'm dead serious. Pops used to bite his tongue when he get mad. Hey, if you know my pops, you know what I'm talking about. Biting that tongue was some scary shit. But anyway, yeah, when he come in the room, when a man, masculine energy come in the room, everything changes. And, you know, yeah, not a lot of people felt that growing up. Not a lot of boys felt that growing up. Sometimes you may think assertive is being mean. You think having standards is being judgmental. You think silence is weakness, when silence is dominance. Silence is dominance. Number 4, lack of discipline. Write it down. Lack of discipline. Can't wake up without your phone. Can't go a day without them trees. You can't eat without DoorDash. And you think the gym is boring. Or you just don't have it in you to even go to the gym. You ain't tired, you clown. You are doped up on dopamine. Everything you do is engineered to keep you soft. Corn, simulated pleasure. Vapes, lazy stress relief. Scrolling social media, mental junk food. Fast food, body of a blob, brain of a child. And even if you don't have the body of a blob, if you're eating fast food, it doesn't matter. You are creating some serious hazardous destruction towards yourself. And then when you wonder why you feel like garbage all the time, lack of discipline isn't a lifestyle. It's a slow, quiet suicide of your masculine identity. You don't need to go monk mode, but can you go one damn day without chasing a high? What happened to delaying gratification? What happened to stacking days of effort like bricks to build something real? What happened to earning your peace and not consuming it? You don't need more pleasure. You need more purpose. Number 5, you can't command yourself. Write this down. You can't command yourself. You ever meet that one dude who acts like he's hard but spazzes over spilled coffee, talks all that alpha talk, then flips out when something doesn't go his way? Yeah, man. He's not a threat. He's an emotional liability. You see that in the hood all the time. Yo, don't disrespect me, bro. Next thing you know, he done crashed out over some ego bruise that could have been brushed off. A lot of people think that that's something to be feared by, or that's strongness. No, that ain't masculinity. That's called unprocessed childhood trauma in a grown man's body. Real men are calm in chaos. We respond, we don't react. Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, once said, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it that matters. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The idea that external events are beyond our control, but our responses to them are entirely within our power. It's a reminder that our mindset, not our circumstances, defines our strength. Why does this matter? Because if you can't command yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your habits, then you can't command your woman. You can't command your family, your business, or your future. Being able to command yourself puts you in a position to where you have control. And if you can't control that, and you spazzing the out on phoneme grave and all that, you're weak. That's feminine. We expect women to crash out sometimes, but men, like at a certain age, crashing out is a little feminine, bro. So you think being soft is cute? Huh? You still think crying on Instagram for attention is real strength? Still want to vape your purpose away and let social media raise you? Then go ahead. Keep being soft. Keep letting your mama, your mammy, pack your lunch. Look, you can't be over 30 years old in your mama house and you ain't at least paying half the rent. You are a loser. And I can overstand. I can overstand if you're on your fitness or if you're on your business and you fall off and then got to come back to your mom dukes for a few moments. That's reasonable. If you leeching off mom dukes, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Look, if you're done being a joke, it's time to suffer on purpose. It's time to grow teeth. Time to lead yourself so you can lead others. Sounds reasonable, right? Right. So this world don't respect weakness, and neither should you, right? Understand this. I lost my sister, man, and I believe it changed me forever. Not only me, but my family. And it didn't change me in a way that it made me broken, but in a way that it made me laser focused. As a man, I couldn't afford to sit around crying. I didn't go numb and fall into distractions. I used that pain and it became fuel in the gym, fuel in my business, fuel in my message. But without stoicism, that mental armor, I would have crashed out. I would have definitely crashed out. Now, see, her death makes me feel dark and angry when I think about it. Like there's an unsolved puzzle I would never solve. I still feel rage sometimes, but I don't let rage lead. I lead myself. And that's what every man must learn. Every single man must learn that. Okay, so I want to provide you guys with some solution-based things that'll help you rebuild your masculinity. Now, before I do that, I want to provide these videos for y'all. We gonna kick it off, man. We gonna kick this off, man. We're not gonna play no games. We gonna keep it thorough. We gonna keep it 100, and we not finna sugarcoat. Because that's our problem nowadays. We sugarcoat. All right, let me see. What do we got here?
I'ma see if you gonna tell him. I'ma see if you gonna tell him. He coming in right now.
I let him know what's
and then
up.
Cause he ain't going nowhere. That's my son. That's my only son.
At some point he got to go.
Never no time.
I mean, at some point he
Never no time. Never no time.
Well, tell him, Christian.
No, you tell him. You talking about you
tell
grown, you gotta go somewhere. I told him you only son. You ain't going no damn way. You go when you get ready.
Man, I just feel at some point you need to make your own way. That's what I be want to walk through the house naked sometime, and there you go. So I mean, what?
No, if anything, you can go, not him. How about that?
I want to pick out the bills in here. You gonna tell me where I can go?
The thing is, like, Why do I gotta, this is my mama house, like, why do I gotta leave my mama house?
Period.
Man, you damn near 40 years old. Damn near it's time to go. I mean, at what point?
I'm 29 now.
Well,
40.
boy, that's pretty 10
But
years
you know what?
away.
When I met you, you was living with your mama.
Man, please,
You
I was
was living
in
with
and
your-
out. Come
you
on,
was living
man.
with your mama.
I
Now
was
you
only
gonna tell
22
me.
years old.
Now you gonna tell me because he
Oh, okay, he was 22.
I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out.
Man,
I'm
he
not going
has to
nowhere.
go.
I'm not going nowhere.
He
This is
has
my
to
mama
go.
house.
Well,
And you ain't gotta go
You know
nowhere.
what? Damn, they ain't gonna pay no bills either. Then
This man. Okay, so he 29 years old. He's still staying in his mama house. The stepdad, or that's not his real son. But either way, it don't matter if that's his real son or not. He telling him some real stuff. It's not his child. I can see he feel uncomfortable even trying to discuss anything about it. But what he basically is saying is, look, you need to be prepared to be a man on your own. What if something happened to me and your mama right here today? What are you gonna do? I'm sure she ain't got no ROIs or no insurance policy. I'm sure it ain't all good when she passed.
now, how you feel about?
Going nowhere. This is
Yes,
my mama house.
well,
And you ain't gotta go
You know
nowhere.
what? Damn, they ain't gonna pay no bills either. Then, damn it. Now, how you feel about that? You don't want him to go. I won't pay the bills.
No,
but
you gonna continue to pay
he
the
got
bills.
to go though, man. It's too much. See, we arguing and stuff about stuff.
Because,
You know
but
what
at the
I'm
end of the
saying?
day, all you gotta do is tell me to help. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Like,
Man, you a
slow
grown
down,
ass
say
man.
this
You a
shit.
grown
Slow down, say
ass
this shit.
man. You supposed to know man, the garbage overfilled. You supposed to know to take that outside. Come on, man. I don't have to tell you all this stuff, man.
But the thing is, I'm barely here, so I'm barely making garbage. So why I gotta take the garbage out if I'm barely here? If I'm barely here, barely making garbage, barely making dishes, like, why I gotta do anything?
She gonna
Right.
always make excuses for you, man. But
Right, he don't even be here. So what is you talking about? He don't be here like that. He come here,
well,
he
when
sleep,
he's
and then
here,
he on
he needs to
business the
help
rest
out.
of the
When
day.
he's here, he needs to help out. He needs to do some things. He
Well,
needs
I
to be
tell you what,
productive.
he ain't paying no
well,
bills
damn it,
and
he
he
gonna
ain't
start
gotta go.
paying some bills around us.
I ain't paying.
But
I
I
gotta pay.
I'd rather want to
My
get the
mama,
fuck out.
but listen, my mama said I gotta pay no bills. I ain't paying no bills.
He gotta pay.
And this is a big problem with younger folks. And it's the parents' fault. It's that lady fault. Just for the simple fact he ain't gotta pay. He with it. The son with it. I ain't gotta pay no bill. Mama say I ain't gotta pay no bills. That right there is a weak boy. He's 29 years old. I would never say there's something wrong with being in your mama crib at an older age if you fall off. If you fall off, you need a few months to get back on your feet. Cool, no problem. But it sounds like you have no ambitions, no goals, no none of that. You just a weak male in your mom crib. That's what it just sounds like to me. And
What I want him to do is save his money and do what he needs to do with his money.
You know the reason why
She failing that boy.
because all this soft shit you bring into it, he still got the titty in the mouth. You let all that stuff go on.
No, you know what I know? You jealous. You jealous of my son.
You would say
You
that.
jealous of my son.
Only you would say some bull
But I
crap.
don't
Like
know
that.
if you jealous or not, but I just know I ain't getting in my mama house. And like, if I gotta get my mama house, you gotta put me in my mama house at the end of the day.
Well, damn it, I'm be carrying you out. You got to go.
Well, you don't need to work to carry
Ain't
his
got
stuff out then if
ain't
that's
got
the
no
case.
problem with carrying them out.
See what he doing right now? I wouldn't even be having no conversation. Why are you even still sitting there having a conversation? If you have to have this much pushback over what's going on, you shouldn't even say nothing. You should just go and get up out of there. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. And regardless of whether you genuine or not with that woman's son, whether you genuine or not, that doesn't even matter. You saying exactly the same thing I would tell my blood son if he was 29 years old, still in the house. Because you're not learning to be a man. You're not learning to be a man. You get it? But there are moms who think like this. And if that's not your son, it's not your son. It's not in this example. This is not his son. So let's go with this example. That's not your son. It ain't too much you could say to her unless she trusts your leadership, which she shouldn't even be with you if she don't trust your leadership. But if she don't trust your leadership, you shouldn't be there, buddy.
Shoot them all out. And
Michael, now you know good and damn well I'm not kicking my son out.
what respect?
I ain't worried about it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm here. I live here, so till I'm ready to get out, I'm gonna be here. So it don't
At
matter.
what point are you trying to? What's your plans for this man? What's
my plan is to stay in here as long as I need to stay in here. That's my.
And what if he 45, 50?
And he gonna be 45, 50 up in here.
Crazy as hell.
You can see he has no ambition on leaving at all. And it's not about leaving him like he getting kicked out. And the man even saying, like, what do you need? What are you trying to do? Like, at least have a plan. At least say, okay, in a year, I'm going to work. I'm going to save up. I may need to work on my credit in order to get my own place. But this is something you're supposed to know how to do and be doing at the age of 29 as a grown man. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if you got a woman. But if you don't have kids, it's easy for you to just work a regular job and have your own crib. And I wouldn't even want to be in that. If I was him, 29 years old, I wouldn't even want to be in that house. Just based off what he's saying. But he's like, yeah, I'm still, because that's a weak position. That's weak positioning. Somebody in a strong position ain't gonna be in somebody else's house, whether it's their parents' house or not. But you have parents who have made their children feel that comfortable to where they feel like this is their house and they ain't gotta do nothing. This is my house. I ain't gotta do nothing. That's what we looking at when we look at this.
Well, damn it, I'm gonna be out there. No, he's going before me.
Get this step in. Because this my only son. He ain't going nowhere.
That's what's
my only son. Shit.
You the one made him like this because your weak ass, you made him.
Come and go. Your son is forever.
She gave you your answer. Just leave, buddy.
That's
It's like, hey, you, your son, y'all can have this together. Matter of fact, go ahead and just sleep with your son at this point, because it didn't got too ridiculous. Let me see if I can pull this other video up. Man, that was crazy, man. Anybody see that clip? If you saw that clip, put it down in the comment section. Put it down in the comment section. Let it be known. Say, yeah, I seen that video. That was crazy. That's crazy. 29 years old. Like, come on, fam. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
No. Ooh. Yeah.
I want y'all to pay attention to his mannerisms. Pay close attention to his facial expressions, his body language, the whole entire time. I'm not sure if he is truly heterosexual. Maybe they just said, let's do this for the video. You're the right person to do it with because you're not a heterosexual person. I don't know. I don't know all the backstory, but just basically judging this video, this spooning session this spooning session as a man, and if you are a man and you accept a woman spooning you, not only do you need to get your ass whooped, right? Not only do you need to get your ass whooped, you need to readjust your whole mindset. Like everything about the way you think, the way you feel. He is psychologically a weak man. Now, pay attention. Pay close attention to his mannerisms, his facial expressions, all that. Very, very rainbowish.
No. Ooh. Yeah.
Then he's sticking his tongue out at the end. What's wrong? What are we doing in today's society that is just making boys think that this is acceptable? Like this is something acceptable to do. Like we can do this. This is something that we could do. How, Sway? When did this ever become anything? Right? So I want to discuss some things so you guys do not be anything like this character or anything like a 29-year-old boy still staying with his mama, not helping at all, and you have the ability to tell your mom, boyfriend, or your stepfather, whoever he is to you, the man in the household, oh, I'm gonna stay here as long as I want. I knew I would have left because only other thing I could have did was punched him in his face. I would have left. Anyways, sick. It's a sick world. And I think some people think that that's okay. There's too many of these online gurus. They give you fantasy boot camps. No phone for 30 days. Like, I need my phone. I need to make money. I need to see what time I need to go to work. It's just unrealistic. Run 100 miles. You'll be a man. Like what? That's going to make me be a better man. Now, I agree. You should be running every day, but 100 miles? Like these gurus, they have unreasonable and unrealistic expectations of success. And it's hilarious to me. Or what about eat raw liver and sleep in a tent for 2 months? What? Like none of this shit is realistic. Stop listening to these internet frauds, all right, on how to rebuild masculinity. Now, I want to tell you things that are sustainable. I'm going to have realistic and reasonable propositions that will work even if you feel like you too far gone. Here's how to rebuild your masculinity. You want to elevate as a man. You want to elevate as a man. You tired of feeling soft and secure, second guessing yourself and faking confidence around women, bosses, or even your own reflection. Yeah, folks lie to themselves. They lie to themselves. Cool, great. Stop listening to these soft-spoken, lavender-scented lifestyle influencers and listen to me. Just listen to me. I'm going to give you 4 dangerous but powerful truths that'll separate the men from the boys, still playing in their comfort zones. I can go on all day. There's a list of things I can tell you to help you rebuild your masculinity, but we'll save them for later dates. Number 1, write this down. Minimize vices. Do not worship them. Minimize vices. Do not worship them. Write this down. Now, let me talk to you like you ain't never been talked to before. If your idea of stress relief is getting high, watching corn, or chugging down alcohol like you're trying to forget your own existence, You ain't managing your stress. You're escaping it. And a man who escapes everything is a man who owns nothing. You ever noticed a man who needs a blunt to calm down? Always angry. The dude who needs a drink to feel good? Always depressed. The one who watches corn daily? Ain't got no real women around. Because what you consume becomes your comfort zone. And what becomes your comfort zone becomes your cage. Let me say this. You ain't addicted to trees or liquor. You're addicted to avoiding reality. You know those people who live in a fantasy world, play video games. Oh, my creative player, I need 100 points a game. You're living in a fantasy world. You're addicted to avoiding reality. You're afraid to feel uncomfortable sober. You can't sit in silence with your own thoughts for 30 minutes without itching. That ain't strength. That's called emotional weakness. With a coping budget, what's the solution? If you drink, cool, do it socially, not solo in the dark. When you drink, you ain't even yourself. Hell, you are being controlled spiritually. Smoke, just stop. Stop acting like your lighter is a therapist, all right? And then corn addiction. Corn. Bro, get your hands off of your potential and go create something in the real world. Be in control of your vices, or will control your whole identity. 2, develop a suffering routine. Now, there's many ways you can suffer, and I'm only going to go into so many. But let me be straight with you. You don't need another vision board. You need pain. Voluntary, consistent, controlled pain. Yeah. You need something in your life that makes you suffer on purpose daily. Why? Because if you don't suffer by design, life will make you suffer by surprise. Oh yeah, you're going to be surprised when them bricks hit you. That's why soft men, they can't lead. That's why you fold under pressure. Because you ain't built a backbone, you more so adopting feminine qualities psychologically. Remember, men and women aren't equal. So women are going to act a certain way, men going to act a certain way. If a man is being led or following the mannerisms of a woman, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to act like a woman, right? So adopting feminine qualities psychologically. You don't think you are adopting these qualities because your gender is a man or male, but that ain't what it really is. So now look, I hear people say, yeah, I'm not a morning person. Cool. Stay broke, out of shape, and spiritually broken. You hear men say, I don't like going to the gym. Well, of course you don't. Growth hurts. You've been trained by comfort. I'm not going to tell you need to be comfort. I'm going to tell you going to need a suffering routine. There's many ways you can suffer, right? Cold showers. Yeah, get you a cold shower every now and then. You know? People can suffer by going to the army, working a 14-hour shift, going to the gym twice a day. It's so many ways you can suffer. I got a secret scientific thing that can help you psychologically. Cold showers every now and then. Why? Because warmness makes you weak. That's a fact. Warmness makes you weak. Get it out the mud. Don't have your hand out because nobody's coming to save you. Early wake-ups. Early wake-ups. Because peace is found in solitude, not snooze buttons. Working out, weights, running. See, when the body is disciplined, the mind gets stronger. And no, You don't have to run 100 miles barefoot like some fake alpha podcast, bro. No, you ain't got to do that. But you do need daily discomfort so you don't flinch when life slaps you in the face like a $2 304. Number 3, write this down. Mental fortification. Most of y'all want to heal, but not train. You want to heal, but you don't want to put in the work. You want to feel better without actually being better, putting in the work to be better. Let me explain. You never trained your mind. Your mental voice is the emotional equivalent of a 14-year-old girl in a group chat. Scared, panicking, impulsive. Oh, I can keep going. There's a long list. You talk to yourself like a victim. But why me? This is too hard. What if I fail? No. Change the narrative. I'm the type of person to say, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to keep going and never give up. I'm going to die trying to succeed in whatever area I want to succeed in. And this is why I can be scary to a lot of people. Because a lot of people know my potential and know where I'm headed. Now, how to fortify? Read books that hurt your ego. Books that call out your excuses. Journal your BS. Write your BS down. Look at your patterns and shame them. And then change them. Yeah, let me repeat that. Journal all your BS. Look at the patterns. Shame them and then change them, right? Practice stoicism. Learn to pause before reacting. Learn to observe emotion, not obey it. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being less emotional and more in command. That's what stoicism is all about. See, when your mind gets quiet and focused, you become dangerous because nobody can break you. Not rejection, not struggle, not even death. Number 4, get around real men who share the same values that you do. Write this down. Get around real men. Listen close, because this right here will make or break your future. If you hang around broke men with loud mouths, men who high as a kite with no vision, or emotional men with zero purpose, you're not surrounded by friends. You're surrounded by anchors. Let me say it plain. Not every man with muscles is a role model. Not every hood legend is a leader, and not every successful man is someone you need to copy, right? You need men around you who will call you out when you slacking, inspire you when you empty, remind you of what's possible when you feel stuck. Get around older warriors. Get around men who carry themselves with structure. Get around men who put themselves in position to win. You want to be around winners. You don't want to be around losers who ain't got nothing going on, or act like they got something going on, but ain't never putting their money in the mix. They just there to leech. Bro, go leech off your mama. Don't leech off me. Now look, when you get around men who put themselves in position to win, you ain't got no choice but to win too, because who you around is who you are becoming, whether you admit it or not. Just the fact that you want to just seem like you a leader, but you're really a follower. Everybody who around each other, y'all pick up habits off of each other. So everybody who you around, y'all gonna feed energy off of each other. And if that man got weakness, his weakness gonna wind up becoming your weaknesses. Not all of them, but something. You want to sharpen your sword? Stop sitting in rooms where everybody is holding spoons. You don't need another podcast. You don't need another alpha male motivational reel. You need to stop playing games and start becoming lethal. Yeah, start becoming lethal. It's just something different about you when you become lethal. It's just something about you. Something about me, because I'm lethal. Now look, build a lifestyle that hurts a little. Sharpen your mind like your life depends on it. Control your urges before they become addictions. And get in a room where energy forces you to evolve. I don't consider this content. I consider this a blueprint. This is a call out to every man who's sick of being soft and ready to step into structure, discipline, and masculine power. A lot of people think once you become a certain age, you become a man. You are not a man because you turn 18. You're not a man because you turn 21. You ain't a man because you turn 30. You can still be 30 with a grown-ass boy still in your body. You are a man when you start leading yourself, when you take ownership, when you protect, provide the ones you love, and persevere without crying for comfort. That's when you become a man. If you are a man who command his emotions, discipline his habits, or stand on principles, that's my favorite, stand on principles. You're not a threat. You're a liability. The world doesn't need more soft men. It needs more of the solid type. So become him, not them, right? Make sure you work, hustle, and invest. Don't forget, go to Protect Investments. Go grab the merch. It's a nice, good quality shirt for a very good price. I want you to hit that like button. Get in the comment section. Add your thoughts to this conversation. Was I off? Was I on? Let a brother know. Most of all, subscribe. We in to win. That's it. Appreciate you. I'm out.